everyone, welcome to my kitchen. In today's recipe, I'm going to show you one of the most classic traditional South Indian dishes, that's Sakkarai Pongal, also known as Sakkarai Pongal. It is most often made for the festival of Pongal, but at home we even make it for a weekend brunch. Serve it along with Ven Pongal and some coconut chutney. So without wasting any time, let's dive right in and start cooking. To begin making the Sakkarai Pongal, it's fairly simple. I have a set of basic ingredients. That's rice, some moong dal, jaggery, some coconut, cashews, ghee, and some cardamom powder. Right? I've freshly pounded it. All I have to do now is to cook the rice and dal in the pressure cooker with a little bit of water, and once that's done, we'll add all the rest of the flavors to blend it in to make a Sakkarai Pongal. So let's start. Now into the pressure cooker, I'm going to add in the dal, that is the moong dal, and the rice. I'm going to roast it for about 3 to 4 seconds until it gets a nice roasted aroma. Roasting the dal and the rice is extremely important because it gives a very nutty taste to the Sakkarai Pongal. After about 3 to 4 minutes of roasting, and you can smell a roasted aroma, now we're going to add in some water. So here the Sakkarai Pongal is usually has a very mushy texture. So for every cup of rice and dal mixture, you would add at least 4 cups of water. So we get a nice gooey and mushy texture. So that's it. To this, you can, although we're going to be flavoring it with cardamom, I'm going to be also adding some saffron into this. So adding saffron gives a nice color as well to the Sakkarai Pongal and also a great flavor. So a few strands of saffron while it is cooking. We'll cover the pan. And allow the Sakkarai Pongal to cook for about 3 or 4 whistles until it's cooked soft and mushy. So the rice and the dal cooked for about 3 to 4 whistles. I reduced the heat and cooked for another 3 to 4 minutes and turned off the heat. So the pressure is still on. So while the pressure is on, I'm going to take it off and keep it to the side and allow the pressure to get released naturally, because the rice and dal continues to cook in the pressure cooker while it is there. So in the next steps, while the pressure is getting released, I'm going to roast some cashew nuts and also melt the jaggery and the coconut that we're going to add. So first I'm going to roast the cashew nuts. Take a pan and bring the heat to medium, because you're going to be roasting the cashew nuts in ghee, so you don't want the ghee to get really hot. You want it to be on medium heat. You're going to add some ghee into the pan. Ghee is a very important ingredient in making Sakkarai Pongal. It adds to the taste, flavor, and just texture and just everything. And to this, I'm going to add in the halved cashew nuts. So make sure that you roast the cashew nuts on low to medium heat and allow it to get golden brown in color. So once it gets golden brown, we'll set it aside. Notice that the cashew nuts are nice and golden brown, and it's time to take it out. I'm going to pour it into a small bowl and keep it aside until the pongal gets cooked and ready. So in the same pan, I'm going to be melting the jaggery and the coconut in just a little bit of water, right? So we'll add in the jaggery. And you can also add fresh coconut or coconut milk, but I like to add the copra, which is the dried coconut, because it adds great taste to the Sakkarai Pongal. This is not traditionally added in most recipes, but this is a twist what I do, because we love having coconut in our Sakkarai Pongal. Just add a little bit of water, just about 2 to 3 tablespoons, to melt the jaggery. So once the jaggery melts, we will mix it into the dal and rice mixture. Make sure that you don't keep the heat on high once again, otherwise it'll form a string-like consistency. You just want to melt the jaggery. That's it. Now that the jaggery is melted, and just going to check if the pressure is released. Oh, pressure is released as well. So now it's time to mix it all up to make the Sakkarai Pongal. So what I'm going to do is to bring the pressure cooker back onto the stove and combine it with all the remaining ingredients. Keep it at the back. Notice the rice is perfectly cooked, it's nice and mushy, and all the water is absorbed. It's just what it should be like. And now I'm going to add in the jaggery and the coconut mixture into this. I've added a little bit less jaggery than that is normally added, but based on your sweetness levels, you can add a little more if required. To this, we'll add in the pounded cardamom powder, elaichi, okay, and a couple of generous tablespoons of ghee. And now I'm going to be using a potato masher to mash up the rice and dal really well so it becomes nice and mushy. Keep this aside and mash it up. Notice that the pongal has thickened a lot in fact, and when we let it rest and sit in a bowl, it'll thicken a lot more. So make sure that you don't evaporate all the liquids, because after it sits down, you'll have extremely thick pongal and you'll have to dilute it again. So now I've turned off the heat and we're ready to serve it along with some cashew nuts. So that's it. I'm going to serve it into my bowl. So I added some cashew nuts into the pongal, and I'm going to stir in some amount of cashew nuts into the pongal so the whole pongal gets some crunch. And as a garnish, I have some more cashew nuts left. I'm going to just top it up with the cashew nuts and pour the ghee on top as well. And that's it. Our Sakkarai Pongal is now ready to be served. I'm going to give it a taste to see how it is. Simply perfect. I love it. I hope you enjoyed watching the recipe of how to make Sakkarai Pongal. Do make it for the festival of Pongal, and also maybe a weekend brunch along with some Ven Pongal. I have the recipe of Ven Pongal as well in the videos, so do take a look and try it in your kitchen. When you do, don't forget to share your feedback in the comments below. I'd love to hear back from you. And yes, one more thing. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because every week we're going to be coming up with fresh and new recipes from my kitchen. So until then, until next time, happy cooking and healthy eating.